uzayda 204 gün kalan astronotu Andrei Kuipers bugün burada basın toplantısı yapacak ve biz de ona katılacağız. Eğer şimdi hazırsanız gerçek bir astronotla tanışacağız.
Toplamda 204 gün uzayda geçirerek Avrupa tarihinin en uzun uzay uçuşunu gerçekleştirdi. Şimdi sahneye bu muhteşem deneyimi bizimle paylaşması için Andrei'yi davet etmek istiyorum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a real pleasure to be here, and all the adventures in the books of Jules Verne, for example. I also wanted to become an astronaut. And I managed to become an astronaut. Here with my crew for my second flight. Don Pettit from the United States, Oleg Kononenko from Russia. It was fantastic to be in space, 2 times, in the Soyuz spacecraft. It was a long way. For many years you train, you prepare to go to space. And finally you are in your capsule on top of the Soyuz rocket and you get launched. And you build up a speed of 28,000 kilometers per hour. 8 kilometers per second. That's the speed that you need to stay in orbit. And then we fly to the International Space Station. International Space Station is as big as a soccer field, 80 by 100 meters. There is no weight, there is no up and down. So you have to get used to that. But it's also very nice. It's very nice to float like a fish in the water. And what do we do on board? Well, we move things around, for example. We do experiments. We are movers if cargo ships are coming. We do cleaning, like at home. We have to clean the space station. We do inspections to see if there's no leaks and things like that. Repairs, things break down, like at home. And of course, we do experiments. All kinds of experiments. You become very weak because you don't use your muscles. You don't have to stand, you don't have to walk. It's like lying in your bed for half a year. So to prevent that you become too weak, we do a lot of exercise. Of course, we eat now and then, which is always nice. It's fun. Here on Earth we learn, we tell our children, don't play with your food. Well, in space we do it all the time. And we can do this don't do this at home. Don't do this at home. But in space you can nicely drink your liquids from the air. So that's always nice to do. And this is how you can wash yourself. Just some water, because it doesn't go down, it stays on you. So it's a very interesting environment, the floating. And of course, one of the interesting things, sleeping. How do you sleep? There's no up and down. You can sleep on the ceiling as well. So it's a very strange world, and you have to get used to that. It's a fantastic adventure to go there, to do all the research that you did. The past, the first ideas, because you need dreamers. If you want to reach something, you need dreamers. You need the people who think, the scientists, then people who build things, engineers, technicians. And you also need some daredevils who are crazy enough to sit in a rocket and go to space.
Önce kendinizi tanıtarak sorularınızı sormanızı rica ederiz.
Murat'la da ben A Haber televizyonundan. Mutlaka hiç unutulmaz dediğiniz bir an olmuştur.
I don't have it here, so you have to translate it for me because it's not on apparently.
You have very amazing experiments, you know. Can you explain us? Have a very interesting one.
Yes, actually the one I showed also was nice. It was experiment GeoFlow.
I'm Alpionarda from Televir TV channel. To meet an actual astronaut like you, it's a really good pleasure for us. I have two questions for you. First of all, in your 204 days in your space-time, what are your most interesting and dangerous moments? And secondly, you said in your speech, you did some experiments, lots of experiments about many kind, and I was wondering, this occurs to me, NASA's recently retired chief scientist, Jim Green, said that before he leaves, Mars can be habitable for humankind with a magnetic field shield, and it's livable for the future, like as colonies. I'm wondering what's your opinions about this matter, and can really it be possible for future, for humankind? Thank you in advance.
Good, very nice questions. The first one, the most exciting part of the space mission is not the launch, it's the re-entry. Because you have traveling around the Earth with 28,000 kilometers per hour. You put all that speed in with a big rocket. But you don't have a rocket to take it out. So if you don't do anything, you always keep on, or you can never get back. So first of all, there's a small engine that has to brake your speed a little bit. If that doesn't work, you are in big trouble because you cannot get back. That's the first exciting moment. This engine has to work. Second, you have to brake in the atmosphere. That's how you lose your speed. Like a duck on the water, use aero braking. You push to your chair, the heat shield has to hold. And that went wrong with the space shuttle. And then the third moment is the parachute. It went wrong with the first Soyuz that crashed. Cosmonaut Komarov died in that crash. So that's the third exciting moment. The parachute has to open and has to be okay. So this is the most exciting part. The most beautiful part, I thought, was Northern Light, or Southern Light, the aurora. It's beautiful to fly over this green carpets. It's a double feeling because it's like a fairy tale, but it's also a bit spooky because it's radiation. So the green is the air glowing, but because of particles that went through me from the sun, for example, to the air. So you're bombarded with radioactive particles all the time. So we get a lot more radiation. It's exactly your second question. The problem with Mars is that there is no magnetic field. That's the reason why the solar wind blew off the whole atmosphere of Mars, for example. And Mars is small, it has difficulties keeping an atmosphere, for example. So in the far future, things might be possible that we cannot think of now. Never say never in technology, that we can make Mars a livable planet. At the moment, not.
One additional question I have for you, just a quick one. Do you plan or do you wish to go to Mars?
I would love to, but then I want to bring my family. Because it's a long trip, and I have still young children. So Mars is far away, between 60 and 400 million kilometers. It takes you 8-9 months to get there. Then you cannot just go back because the Earth rotates faster. So if you go back, there's no more Earth. You have to wait till the Earth is coming back from the sun. So it takes you 2.5 years back and forth. So it's fantastic. It would be great to go there and be on that planet. But I would love to bring the family.
Thank you for your answers.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you for your detailed answers at the press conference, Mr. Kuipers. My last question is, last year, USA Navy raiders locked on an unidentified flying object, and afterwards, Pentagon made a full prepared report about it. After those events, that footage, NASA Director Bill Nelson made an announcement that we saw the flying object that we don't know, but it had the more advanced technology that it doesn't exist in Earth. Moreover, a couple of months ago, U.S. government prepared a UFO research unit. So I always wanted to ask this for a real astronaut. What are your opinions about these events? And in the universe, are we the only intelligent species?
Well, we don't know yet. I expect that there's a lot of life in the universe. If you realize that our Milky Way has 200 or 300 billion stars and there are about 100 billion Milky Ways, that means that there are more stars in the universe than sand grains on all the beaches of planet Earth. And they all have planets as well. The ingredients for life we can find everywhere, the right conditions, and it must be at a lot of places. So I think that life has developed in other places as well. Primitive life, maybe intelligent life. We look for it. We look on Mars. We will look under the ice of the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. We will analyze, especially with the new telescope, the James Webb, for example, the atmospheres from exoplanets, and to find indications of primitive life. And then we listen with big radio telescopes to see if we can find intelligent signals. It's not possible. With our technology, it will take much too long to get to exoplanets. And then the final question, did they get to us? UFOs means unidentified flying object. So we just don't know what it is. I don't say that it's impossible, but I like to see the proof first. And there's this expression, if you want to prove something extraordinary, you need extraordinary evidence. And that's what we're looking for.
It's been a pleasure to meet with you. Thank you.
Which camera?
This camera is
Yeah,
ours.
but a photo, you said.
It's the same.